Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalam ala nabiyyina Hazrat Muhammad Khataman Nabiyyin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in bihamdika ya arhamur rahimin. Welcome to Hadayat Radio. Today is the 5th July 2020. So we are here to talk something about uh, as our topic is the freedom versus slavery. Everything has so many deceptions and so many covers up and so many counterfeits. And sometimes it's so twisted. It is so twisted. Pretty much what I call it the British conspiracy. It is so twisted that it's hard to find out what's the reality behind it. When we talk about Islam or the Muslim, their reach to the corner of the world, we can go into the history back, and we find that there was a prince from Africa, the most precious land with gold and diamond and whatnot. And his name was probably Abu Bakr, and he traveled from some part of Africa, I don't know, Somalia or somewhere from there, with the, as I know, as I read, and as I heard, with 3 ships of gold. His name was Abu Bakr, something like that. Could be a different language, could be a different name. And he traveled all the way to the North America. And he stayed with the Native American. And he had whatever wealth with him, he spent and he shared that with the Native American. And then he passed away whatsoever. I do not know much about that. Later on, we see that so many people reached here from so many parts. And then there is an amazing and just a very, very, just very sensitive and very emotional story of one of a great general from Timbuktu, state of Mali. Timbuktu was a university. As we know that there was a university of the Moorish in the Moorish Spain named Toledo, of which the curriculum was taken over by the British slavery trader masters, and then they translated it in English and then in Italian. So they made up this, what we know, Oxford University. You can check with any professor there, he will confirm it. And the other university from that Toledo University is in Italy named Pisa University. So that curriculum is gone from Oxford, Pisa to all the way to other big university across the world. You can take Princeton, you can take Yale, any other university. So the curriculum, if you look deep into it, it all came from the Moorish, the African Moorish Spaniard University that was in Moorish Spain, long ago, before they was expelled from that land. And then there was a very big genocide. It happened on the 1st April. People was fooled that they will come down to the big hall and they will have a nice gathering there, because everybody ran away from the towns and the cities of Spain, which was taken over by the brutal uh, slavery trade master empire of the British, the English, the Vikings, the leftover of King William, who invaded England and made every English man and woman his slave, and then forced them to call him Majesty. And then he will return their land, their cattle, their women back to them. But the woman was his servitude. There was his personal property. Anybody's woman, there was the property of that genocidal king named King William, the brutal or the conqueror, whatever you like to call him. So that was the thing happened in April some year, and that's why people just try to remember that April Fool by fooling the people. Whereas it started from Spain, when those people, when they came, because they were scared that they will butcher us. So they ended up in a very big kind of a feast place, and the king, I think it must be king of the Spain that time, and Queen, Isabella. Very many of us know Isabella. She was a butcher woman, and what they did, they butchered them. They committed a worse genocide over there, in the promise that they will be fed and then they will be let go wherever they want to go, because they was the follower of the Prophet of Muslim, Hazrat Muhammad Khatamun Nabiyyin Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So here the Muslim Prophet, the Muslim noble Prophet, the Muslim final Prophet, Hazrat Muhammad Khatamun Nabiyyin Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That's what we know, and that's what we call, and that's what we read, and that's what we speak. So then whoever was left in that genocide in Spain, they was put on the ships, and that the ship sailed away. The ship has no oil, nothing, so they all was left in the ocean. So all those people, I have no idea what was their numbers, so they all died in the ocean, just off of the Spanish, the Inquest Spanish, in that year, in that time, in that moment, in that month of April. So we condemn that April Fool. It was a barbarics of the British evil slavery traders masters empire. And then we go on further, and the British, when they invaded the Muslim Mughal Empire in post 1600 sometime, somewhere there, and the guy who was kicked out from, who was beaten up and kicked out from America, George Wallace, or Cornwallis, whatever his name was. So he was sent to India to lead that the Muslim Mughal Empire and take it over. Whereas there was two more guys. They was beaten up from Africa. One was beaten up really bad. His name was General Gordon. So there was someone there named Mehdi. of Sudan. So he beat him up, and then his forces went back or disappeared. Then another douchebag showed up, Kitchener, so General Kitchener, and he beat up Mehdi. So when Kitchener went back to England, back to London, he asked whoever was the head of that, slavery trade masters, evil British Empire. He asked him that he want to go to fight with the Muslim Mughal Empire, who was in southern Asia, like all part of Asia, like 7, 8, 9, 10 countries today. And so they did not let him, whereas he was just not giving up. So what they did at the end, that they could be brutal to anybody. No one could be safe from their tyranny. We're talking about the slavery trade masters, the British butchers and genocides empire. So what they did, they put him in a ship. So he said that, well, you can send me to Russia. So they say, okay, that's fine. So they put him in an empty ship and they say, okay, sail. So he was drawn somewhere in some corners of the ocean close to England. And things went on, and they had a just really amazing fight with the Muslims and other people who was living in the Muslim Mughal Empire in India.